ASEAN plans to push on with its peace plan to resolve the political crisis in Myanmar and is looking at how to initiate dialogue among all stakeholders as its next step. Current chair Indonesia says it has held extensive engagements as the first building bloc in the process, which has made little progress so far. Saiful Bari Ismail reports.
ASEAN's foreign ministers took stock of the five-point consensus during the retreat session of their meeting in Jakarta on Wednesday. The five-point consensus is the bloc's peace plan for Myanmar. Part of the plan calls for constructive dialogue among all relevant parties in the conflict.
Five-point consensus is the main reference, and the implementation of five-point consensus should remain the focus of ASEAN. ASEAN leaders in Phnom Penh stated that any other efforts must support the implementation of five-point consensus.
Indonesia took over ASEAN's chairmanship from Cambodia following last year's summit in Phnom Penh. Ms. Retno said Indonesia has conducted more than 110 engagements so far with all stakeholders in Myanmar, and these can be a foundation to support subsequent building blocks in the peace process. Thailand is also engaging Myanmar on its own. Its foreign minister, Don Premadwena, said he met with ousted Myanmar democracy leader Aung San Suu Kyi last week. This is her first known meeting with a foreign envoy since she was detained following Myanmar's military coup in 2021. Mr. Don said it was a good meeting and she was in good health. During the retreat, ASEAN's foreign ministers also discussed how to move beyond engagement.
Engagement are merely means. It is high time to encourage dialogue among them. Dialogue will pave the way to political solution. Only political solution will lead to durable peace.
Ms. Retno said ASEAN is also very much concerned about the growing violence in Myanmar and strongly condemned the use of force in the conflict. She added that without an end to violence, it may be very difficult to create a conducive environment for dialogue. Observers said Myanmar's military leaders are unlikely to participate in an all-inclusive dialogue to resolve the country's political crisis. But even if all sides of the political spectrum were represented at talks, compromise would be difficult because of how far apart their views are on how the country should be governed. The meetings in Jakarta will continue this week, with the bloc expected to meet dialogue partners including China, Russia and the US. Saiful Bari Ismail, CNA, Jakarta.